Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I would like to do a mic check. If your name is Mike, please stand up. This concludes the mic check. What's going on, everyone? I'm Austin John, and welcome to Too Many Games. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody here, make some noise if you showered today. Make some noise if you smelled someone who didn't shower today. Beautiful, we're all on the same page, great. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Austin John. I'm from the YouTube channel Austin John Plays. I should probably start the thing that does the thing and stuff. Hang on, boop. That's not the thing. Boop. Yeah, there we go, great. I also realized that a lot of the documentation didn't actually say that it was gonna be me, so show of hands, who has no idea who I am? Okay, cool. Who actually doesn't know who I am and just wanted to raise their hand? Okay, thank you. I just gotta do the thing, and do the thing. One second, please. I know, I'm a professional. We practiced this, we did, for 4 seconds. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna press the space bar a lot, that's fine. Today I want to speak to each and every one of you about the importance of audio in video. With me, Austin John Plays. It says the thing now, which is great. Who the heck is this guy talking? I already said my name. I'm already ahead of the thing. I started my YouTube channel in 2016 at the release of Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. To date, I've amassed a total following of over 2 million followers between all social media platforms, and on YouTube especially. Okay, the LEDs are like a 9mm, not a 3mm, so you're not seeing it that well. But I have over 1.75 million subscribers on YouTube. Thank you, thank you. It's a big number. It's actually more than a population of Haiti. So if every single person in Haiti subscribed to my channel twice, that's how many people. Also, I've never been to Haiti, so that's a bad metric. My entire life, I've been involved with audio and music production. When I was 18 years old, I interned at Sony Music Studios in New York and got to work with a whole bunch of fantastic artists like Nas. From there, I started a DJ career, and in my DJ career, I was on Music Choice Television, New York City Radio, alongside some names like Paul Oakenfold, Steve Aoki, Dash Berlin, Mogwai, Disco Fries. You've heard of all of them, but not me. I know, that's cool. And then I also did some mobile stuff. Actually, I've done over 1,000 weddings in my career. I like to say that I've done more weddings in 1 month than you'll attend in your lifetime. Kind of a douchey sentence, but it's true anyways. So enough about me, let's talk about you guys. What do you want to do? And I would like a show of hands for this. Who of here already has a YouTube channel and considers himself somewhat established? The lights are on and I don't know who raised their hand. Okay, one person, I saw one hand. Who here is already a streamer and considers himself established? Great, okay, a few more people. Who here wants to be a YouTuber? Okay, a few more hands there. Who here wants to be a streamer? Great. You can't say you want to do it and you're already doing it. You're either wanting to do it or, I mean, you know what? No, to be fair, a good artist always strives to better themselves. And the best way to better yourself is through knowledge. And the best way to learn from mistakes is to learn from the mistakes of others, which I'm going to share a lot of them with you. And who is here Because it's me and you don't plan on recording or YouTubing or streaming or anything. Okay, we actually have a dedicated audience. Fantastic, maybe because the brochure didn't say my name at all. Who's here because they think I'm cute/hot? Okay, see a few hands. Are you over 18? No, this is a continuation of the last one. Are you a woman? A lot less hands, Are you single? Okay, and what are you doing after this panel? Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about a very simple concept. Should you make a YouTube channel? We now live in a society that children no longer want to be firefighters, astronauts, and policemen, especially the last one, but now people want to be YouTube streamers, and they want to be artists, although that's never really changed, but should you make a YouTube channel? Basically saying, will you be successful? I personally believe it comes down to a simple concept that the channel should be based around a single subject that should fit into 3 criteria. 1, is it something that you are passionate about? Not that you like, not that you love, that you're passionate about. Is it something that others are passionate about? And most importantly, is it something that others will actively seek out information on? Now, these 3 things can contradict one another, and a great example of that, something that I'm personally passionate about, Tostino's Pizza Rolls. I'm passionate about Tostino's Pizza Rolls. Show of hands, is anyone here under the age of 18? Are you under the age of 13? Is your parent or guardian here? Are they sitting next to you? Can I say naughty words? Okay. I fucking love Tostino's Pizza Rolls. I really do. I've lost a lot of weight recently, but every day I put like 3 of them in the microwave. I know it's the worst way to have them, but still. Again, just like this, I could go on and on about it. And while you may share that same passion of Tostino's Pizza Rolls, I doubt other people are going to actively seek out information on Tostino's Pizza Rolls, other than how many calories and trans fats and everything else and how bad it is for that. Okay, let's talk about, will you be popular about doing this? If you meet the 3 criteria that I mentioned before, because easy thing, you want to make Pokemon or Zelda videos. Great, that fit all 3 criteria. How can you be popular? 1, you could be the first to do a specific thing, like my friend Felix. I don't actually know Felix. Or you could be the very best. It didn't show up. You could be the very best, like no one ever was. And as much as I don't like the video game Fork Knife, there's no denying that Ninja is a very, very skilled competitive player. And third, be different. Do the exact same thing as someone else, but put your own twist on it that makes it special and unique. And actual friend, Gerard, he does reviews/gameplay, but he puts his own spin on it that involves 100%ing and completing it. And people very often ask me, oh, is it easy to get into YouTube and everything else? And the idea of it being easy and being lucky about it is all completely subjective. It can happen. You could strike while the iron is hot. If you made Animal Crossing videos March of last year, you were good. But I want to get into the nitty-gritty and the specifics here about audio, because audio is extremely important, because video is 2/3 audio. And what I mean by that is right here I have an example of a video that is a high-quality video, but the audio is hot garbage. By the way, guys in the back, this is going to sound like hot garbage. It didn't sound like anything. There we go.
What's going on, everyone? Austin John Place here, and today it's going to be time for another Pokemon Sword and Shield Raid Den update.
I don't want to watch that. You guys don't want to watch that. Because chances are you might be watching a video while you're driving, or the biggest compliment you could give to a YouTuber is watching them on your lunch break. Just a dedicated you and the video. But Contrary to that, an example of high quality audio with garbage video. I realize the LED wall doesn't help much for explaining this, but here we go.
What's going on, everyone? Austin John Place here, and today it's going to be time for another Pokemon Sword and Shield Raid Den update.
That was much better. That's something that you would listen to while you're driving or while you're eating or something else like that, because audio is, in most cases, more important than video. Now, video is important, and I'm going to get into some specifics about that. And this is especially true in things like gaming in regard to a face cam. You don't need a face cam to make a gaming video. Your audio is extremely important when it comes to things like podcasts, interviews, and vlogs, and exceptions of things that require your video to match the quality of your audio include things like visually heavy content, beauty tutorials, arts, unboxings, also vlogs. A great example of that and this. That speaker right there is $3,200. There's 4 of them. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on over there. They got crazy boards. I recognize one of them. It's not cheap. While the LED wall is also expensive, it's not the clearest thing in the world. But you're hearing me clearly and you're engaged with what I'm speaking on. And that goes to show that the audio is more important than the video. So let's talk about microphones, because it seems to be something that people don't know a lot about. First, I would like to speak on the subject of USB microphones. You're probably looking at this if you're a streamer or YouTuber or plan on getting into this because they're cheaper and easier to use. But the cons of this, the audio is much lower quality and you have limited customizability. And as I like to say, the biggest benefit of them all, it just works. As opposed to once you advance better into better microphones, you start into XLR condenser microphones. I know that's a lot of words. You don't need to know about it. All you really need to know is the word XLR microphones. Like the microphone I'm speaking on currently. Pretty sure this is a dynamic microphone though, not a condenser mic. It's because it's used for live audio. They're more expensive. They require a preamp because they're not amplified, they're quieter. And there's a lot of tweaking that's required in order to get it to function properly. However, you can achieve better audio to the best audio possible. Now, I want to speak on the best USB microphones for price range. This is going to be a quick little thing just in case you want to know this. Razer makes a cheap mic. Don't buy it. It's dog shit. But in the $25 to $50 range, a company called Blue, they make a microphone called the Snowball. You could probably find it for $25. Really great microphone for 25 bucks. And then once we start getting into a little bit more expensive microphones, I would personally recommend either the Blue Yeti or the Elgato Wave. They have their pros, they have their cons, but for their price range and entry level and easy to configure, and you don't know if this is something you actually want to do, but you're kind of just trying it out, I would definitely recommend. Also, I'm going to remain with Blue microphones throughout all of this, just so we have a sort of a baseline that we could scale upon. Now, let's talk about XLR microphones. I personally believe that the price tag for entry to get into good XLR microphones is about $300. And for that, I would actually personally recommend the Blue Bluebird. By the way, not sponsored by Blue. I use a Blue mic. I'm not sponsored. This presentation is brought to you by Ridge Wallet. The microphone I actually use is called the Blue Mouse. It's actually the same one that Red and Link use on their show Good Mythical Morning. I love your LED hat. Yeah, I'm sorry, my ADD kicked in a little bit there. When I worked at Sony, though, there was a beautiful microphone, and oh, I dream about it. I have wet dreams at night thinking about the Sony C800G, but it's $10,000. And while, you know, if I took out a small loan from the bank, I could definitely afford that. I'm not going to, and I'm going to get into that exactly why after real quick mention about preamps. XLR microphones require what's called phantom power. That means that the actual volume going into the microphone is much lower. It needs to be amplified more, and it's supposed to not interfere with the sound, hence the term phantom power, and increases the decibels by 48 decibels. That's why sometimes you'll see it as plus 4.8. Best bang for your buck, Native Instruments makes this little box called the Complete Audio 1 for $109 on Prime eligible. Buy that. I use that. I went from an $800 preamp to that. Honestly, it's lightweight, it's easy to use. And then, I mean, if you wanted to get crazy, here's the Universal Audio Solo 610, which is $1,100. And again, goes to the simple idea of, you don't need a microphone that good for YouTube. Because, very catchy name, the argument of applications of media consumption. I know, it's sexy, right? What I mean by that, great example, vinyls sound better than streamed audio if you ask anyone who's an audiophile or just a common dickhead, but streaming is significantly more convenient. Therefore, streaming audio is pretty much everywhere. When's the last time you bought a record, album, CD, or cassette? Exactly. And with that, 50% or more of your audience is going to listen to your video here on a phone. Tiny little speakers, tiny little less than 1-inch speakers, and that's how they're gonna be consuming your media. In fact, here's my actual analytics for my YouTube page. Oh, you can't see that at all. Okay, I'm just gonna read that to you. Over 123 million views in the year 2020. 57.2% of them were on a phone. 15% of them were on a computer, and you may have good computer speakers or monitor speakers, which again are hot garbage. Tablets, 12.9, a little bit better than a phone, not as good as a computer. Game consoles, 7%. That's never my thing. And a weird metric, 6% of the people who watch my videos watch on a TV. Who watches YouTube videos on a TV? That's more people than I thought. Okay. So, you should have the highest level of audio possible. And what I mean by that is the delivery and the medium of the user consumption is going to decrease that audio. Who didn't understand the sentence I just said? Okay, couple of hands. Basically saying, I could have the best audio in the world, and someone could have pretty good audio. It was a gnat or a mosquito or something. But if it's coming through a phone, you're not going to hear the difference. So if you were to have that $100 preamp versus the $1,000 preamp, very likely you're not going to hear a difference on a phone. With that same concept, when you produce audio, especially for recorded content on YouTube, not so much streaming content, it's a little bit more difficult, you should be using something called studio monitors. You may be familiar with these speakers. These are the KRK Rockets. They're very noticeable because they have a yellow cone. They're very cheap, good entry-level studio monitors. And what's unique about them is they don't sound good, which is a weird sentence. And it actually means that you want it to sound as real as possible. You want to sound as neutral because the end user is going to be hearing it on their output, which is tuned. Excuse me. And it should sound as neutral and true as possible so they hear you as neutral and true as possible. This concludes the section where I'm talking about microphones. And now we're going to be talking about something that is super duper important and not a lot of people do. Post-processing. That means editing the audio after recording. And I feel like I've talked about a presentation enough, so we're going to do a quick little live demo here. Actually, before we do the live demo, any quick questions? Quick questions, yeah? Just shout real loud. Also stand up and shout louder. Compressor, we're going to talk about that in post. Anyone else? Great. Oh, yes. Real loud, please. Yes. Yes, and streaming killed the artist. Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna get real intimate with it. Boop, boop, boop. Give me a second here. I'm just going to mirror my screen now. Boop, boop, boop. Arrangement, mirror displays. Can you guys see what's going on? Barely is right, okay. I'm gonna bring down the resolution. Still barely, but that's fine. We'll make it work. I'll kind of explain things, and I have a keyboard command to zoom in on stuff. Okay, great. Oh God, it's so zoomed in now. Boop, boop, boop. This is Spectrum, minimize Spectrum. Okay, right here, I have a quick little sample of something I said in a video that is currently not going through the speakers. Boop. External headphones, set up properly.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
That is just the audio with a small glute compressor on there. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about a compressor because while you can use a compressor, general rule of thumb for quick, dirty audio consumption, you're better off using a limiter. And this is sort of a hot take right here, but just from my personal experience. And if you're familiar with audio production at all, I'm actually going to be breaking a very big rule right now. So these are the waveforms of my actual audio. You're going to notice that right here. Oh yeah, that works. Right here, it's very flat. That's because I'm recording in a very quiet environment that's acoustically sound. Your room may not be that quiet, and therefore you're going to have like a little bit of peak here, a little bit of noise. It's going to sound like wind. It's often referred to as white noise or wind noise or ambient sound. You have two options to increase the volume of your sound. First of all, you should never ever redline. You should never hit 0. If you see red, even if you're in yellow, you're being too loud. You need to turn down your amplification. It should be quiet. When looking at this entire sample right here, I have a sample right here that's so quiet compared to when I'm speaking loudly, and that's because of how much I'm projecting my voice.
Well, nice. We have so much in common. Did we just become best friends?
And it's quieter, but at the same time, you're hearing a completely different tone in my voice, where I say, nice, awesome. Did we just become best friends? And that just happens with the fact that you're getting closer and you're changing your whole approach to the sentence because you want it to sound more intimate. The problem is when people are listening in their car or on their headphones, you don't want them to have to constantly change the volume. So option 1, you take the whole thing, you increase the volume. The problem is now this is big and this is still small. Problem that some guys actually have. ED is a real problem. It's not something to laugh at. But I personally believe for YouTube consumption, you should throw a limiter on there. And well, obviously everything should have a limiter, but a basic limiter, right here, I'm just gonna play this sample real quick.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world? What's going on, boys and girls? What?
And I'm actually gonna mute it because what I'm saying doesn't really matter. We're just gonna look right down here at the limiter. And you're gonna see that I have a ceiling. What that means is that's the cap. That's where it's never gonna be louder than that. And once you start bringing the gain up, I'm gonna make it 6. I'm gonna make it 10. Now you're gonna start to see this little bit of yellow right here. That means that everything is being amplified by 10 decibels, and anytime that it's going above -2 decibels, which 0 is the threshold, anytime it's going above -2, it's now no longer doing the full +10. And I kind of break a big rule here. I go 15. And pretty much the entire thing is now being crunched down in audio a little bit. And in the world of audio production, you should never ever do this because there's no dynamics to your sound. However, again, people are listening on a phone or their AirPods, or God forbid they buy fucking Raycons. Raycon wanted to sponsor me, fun fact. And I was like, listen, before I even look at the deal, I want you to send me them. I listened to them. They sound just as bad. They sound worse than Skull Candy. And my manager said, hey, do you want to do this deal? I'm like, this guy hasn't had a hit single since 2016, and he's most well known for things with Kim Kardashian. You think I'm going to take his opinion on what headphones should sound like? So what I do is I over-amplify my audio. Therefore, the end result sounds something like this. This is before. I'm going to bring the volume up.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
And now I'm going to put the limiter on and bring the volume down.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
That does a few things. It crunches the audio a little bit, but it somehow also magically grabs your low end and kind of pulls it out a little bit more, and I think that's something that everybody strives for. While we're talking on that subject, I want to talk about an EQ. Everyone knows what an EQ here is. This is my EQ. Welcome to take a picture, copy it, bring it home, do the exact same thing. Your EQ should look something similar to this, and the most important part is right here. Once you hit about 100 hertz, even 120, 150, you should never, ever, ever amplify the low end of your audio, ever. If you have a bassy voice, that's great. Your bassy voice doesn't live here. If you amplify this, it just becomes muddled and sounds disgusting. And if someone listens to it on monitor speakers or something, it's not gonna make you sound bassier, it's just gonna vibrate the speakers, you're gonna sound like hot garbage, like that sample that I played earlier. So you should never ever amplify your low end. If you wanna do a little something around here to make it, pop a little bit more, 1, maybe 2 decibels, that's fine. There's the rule of 4K, that there's a hertz that exists around 4,000 hertz, or there's a frequency that exists around 4,000 hertz that's actually harmful to the human ear, so you should always bring that down as well. And you also don't need any high end. This is pretty much what you want to do for an EQ. This is actually what I use throughout my entire YouTube career. I've slightly modified it through the years. And if I were to pull up right here, this is a spectrum, and it's actually going to show me what my voice sounds like.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
You're gonna see the blue lines. You're gonna kind of see the blue lines, and you're gonna see that at the 100 hertz up here, I've completely cut this off. We exist here, which is what? Minus 40 decibels, that's fine. And over here, at the high end, this is like 15,000. So in that sense, you don't need high end, because that's just gonna be noise. You don't need low end, because that's gonna be muffling. And then you just wanna focus on the frequencies that your voice is already strong in. EQ should not be makeup. EQ is not trying to change what you sound like and make you sound better. It's just to clean it up a little bit. Like a nice little mascara or something. I'm not talking about full caking it on there. We all understand what I'm talking about? Great. That's that, and then gates. Gates are something that are kind of necessary, but if you use a gate wrong, you're gonna do more harm than good. A gate is supposed to make it that way whenever you're not speaking, there's no ambient sound coming through on the recorded track. And what I mean by that exactly is, in between me saying something, there's nothing being heard, except for the very loud arcade over there. But if I were to record my audio right now, between all the phrases I'm saying, I don't want to hear that arcade. So you would come into your track, you would just play the same sound of you not talking, you want to find out the volume of that, and that is going to represent your threshold. Which by definition means that only when your voice is above that decibel volume are you actually going to be going through the gate. Think of it like an actual gate. Think of it as a gate that goes up and down. And whenever you're over that decibel amount, in this case it's 45, the gate's gonna go down, and then it's gonna shoot right back up. How fast that gate goes down and how fast that gate goes up is defined by what's called, the attack, the hold, and the release. The attack is how fast it goes down. For your voice, turn it all the way down. Next to all the way down. Like mine's at 3 milliseconds, which is, in theory, instant. Your hold means that if I'm going to say some things, I would still want it to sound a little bit natural in between there, so I have it for 10 milliseconds. And your release is a little bit of, if you're using a gate wrong, you're using the release wrong. So if there's noise in the background, and of course you should have some light music in the background when you have a video going on. In between you speaking, if your release is too quick, then you're gonna hear the background noise while you're speaking, and then when you're not speaking and the gate is up, it's gonna be perfectly silent. And it's gonna sound awkward. So because of that, you need to listen back to your release and to your hold and hear what sounds natural. After you're done speaking, it shouldn't immediately go back up. After you're done speaking, it should remain there and then slowly go back up. So it's sort of like you're fading out that ambient sound. And then this is a secret, a trick of the trade. There's a multi-band dynamic compressor that's unique to Ableton. called OTT, which stands for over the top. And there's actually now an external VST that you can even implement into OBS for live streaming. And what that does is that over amplifies and limits individual frequencies of your voice. And what I mean by that is your high end gets everything that I just talked about, your mid end gets everything I just talked about, and your low end gets everything I just talked about. And when you combine all those things together, the sound is significantly more in your face. So here's the sample without that on.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
I'm also gonna put that EQ on,
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
which doesn't sound a lot different because this is live audio, but if you had headphones on, it would actually make a big difference. And I also cut this out before recording. But once I turn this on, I'm gonna do an A/B here
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
with it on.
What's going on, boys and girls? What's up, world?
It's a much more driven sound that immediately takes it from me very cautiously, gently talking to you guys to much more emphasis and using a lot more of my diaphragm to really drive home this exact point without me having to actually do that. Because if you do that too much, you're gonna tire out your voice. That's that. This is my exact chain. There's nothing really too special about it other than the importance of limiting properly, EQ properly, OTT, which is a big secret, and then a gate if your ambient sound is actually necessary like that. And yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. So I would now like to ask if you have any questions about the things that we have discussed regarding audio. Could we bring down the house lights a little bit? Because I can't see anything, thanks. Yes? I need you so much more louder. I'm pretty much deaf. To edit my video, I use Final Cut Pro. As you could tell, I'm a Mac user, so of course I'm a piece of shit. I also have a PC, but when comparing PC to Mac and specifically the audio editing programs, I prefer Final Cut. And with my macros that I've been able to assign with a keyboard between these 4 fingers and then also my mouse pad with the 1 through 12, I can edit an hour-long video in probably 25 minutes. Which, again, in the scene of YouTube, one of the most important things is being first. Like some people who got their OLED Switch a week and a half, and I got mine 2 days ago. Okay, next question. Yes? You need to apply everything that you do here to the individual channels. Each voice is unique, and a higher pitch or feminine voice may not want the same forward aggression that OTT has, as opposed to if you hear my stuff, how I know what I'm talking about and I'm confident with it. I want it to drive forward a little bit, as opposed to if I'm saying something that I want to sound insecure. So you need to hear each person and sort of tweak it to them. But general rule of thumb, like if you're doing a podcast and a multi-channel recording like that, you're gonna have each person and you're gonna just do an EQ on them. And the best part is, you do it all in post. You just have the people there, you apply the stuff afterward, and you're good. Next question. Yes, in the back. A lot louder, please. A little bit louder. Hang on, hang on. One again, sorry about the microphone. He was asking about the rule of there's a frequency at around 4,000 kilohertz that hurts the human ear, and the importance of bringing that down. And there are additional frequencies that do hurt the human ear. One exists around 8,000. But in practice, again, most people are using their phone, and your phone speaker isn't going to be amplifying those frequencies very loud. If you're listening back to the YouTube video in a car, you may experience that. I mean, my voice doesn't really live that much at 8,000. It's just a little bit there, so it's never really been an issue for me. But if you're more experienced in sound production, then yes, there are specific frequencies. You can bring down a little bit more here and there, but what I showed you, that little one on the left, that's what I do. Next. Gray? Could you stand up and be a little bit louder? He asked about the specific frequencies that I pulled down here. The one I pulled down because you shouldn't have bass in your voice. The last number I pulled down because you don't want high end. One of them is 4,000. I think the other one's actually like somewhere around like 12 or 14, something like that. And then the other two that I dipped down in the middle is just from listening back to my voice and hearing it on speakers or studio headphones, and you can hear what's going on. In the professional audio industry world, we do what we call an A/B, which is you listen to it this way, you listen to it without that, you change one little thing. You listen to it this way, you just listen to it this way, change one little thing. Each EQ is unique to voices. That's very simple because I'm a firm believer in your voice should sound like you. You only really need to do a lot more EQ if you're mixing your voice into a song, because then the song is going to be taking up other frequencies and you want the two to complement each other. Did I answer it? Okay, I feel like I trailed off a little bit. Okay. Oh, that's a feather, sorry. Yes, on the left. Could you come up a little bit closer so I could hear you? Still a lot more. The $50 one, don't buy it. I'm sorry, what? The $200-ish Razer mic isn't bad. The $50 one is not good. Not good. Save up another $100, get the Elgato Wave. Yeah, I personally bought the $50 mic, and I bought the Snowball before I did this test, and I listened back to them, and just like, horrible. It doesn't make you sound like you. It sounds like it's you on another planet after absorbing helium while talking through a metal tube. That's what the $50 mic sounds like. Yeah. Next question. Yes. I like studio monitors. So I use Atom A7Xs for my studio monitors. They're like $750 each. I don't know if they still make that model, but they're really good. There's a pair of Sony studio headphones that are like $110, $105, $150. I forgot the name of them. One side has a little red line, one side has a little blue line, and they're the industry standard. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact model number of them, but again, I'm more a studio monitor guy. A lot of things by Allen and Heath are pretty good too. So it's just your preference and hearing something that sounds natural to you. And then whatever you get as far as studio monitors or headphones, you should also listen to other media. You should consume media on the same medium that you are planning to produce media on. Meaning that if you're going to be mixing down your voice on these specific studio monitors, you should listen to someone else's voice on those studio monitors. And your ear should get acclimated to how that person sounds. And then you could hear the things that, like if you're hearing a specific frequency that stands out on your voice that doesn't sit well with your ear after consuming all of that, that would be a good frequency to lower. Yes? Just starting out editing. I'm a very pro Mac guy. iMovie is the way to go, but for $200 you get Final Cut, which is fantastic. An additional $50 you get Compressor, which can render out a video faster with less artifacts in half the time. So for $250, getting Final Cut on a Mac. On PC, I never really did that much video editing on PC, but when I did, I think I used Sony Vegas. Is that a video editing program on PC? Yeah, Vegas? Yeah, Vegas. Oh, it's no longer a thing. Okay, then torrent it. Anyone else? Yes, Gray again. Do I have any preferred methods for reverb? I don't think YouTube videos should have reverb. Oh, preventing reverb. Yes. Your environment that you record in should be the least amount of hard surfaces possible. If you have windows, cover them up with curtains. If you still want light to come through, put some sheer curtains in the middle and put some big, nice, lush, velvety curtains on the outside. Your floor, have to have a rug. If it's a hardwood floor, get an area rug. And then it comes to the walls. Glass is really bad for it. Natural wood is all right if it's like a wooden shelf or even like a Billy from IKEA with a whole bunch of stuff on there. All those nooks and crannies are absorbing the sound. And then when it comes to the blank walls, it's your option on what you want to do. If you want to go, the fun, cool, gamer, cheap route, you could get some big canvas prints and put those on the walls. But if you're digging more down into proper audio production, you would want to start with studio foam. You would want triangles at 2 to 2.5 to 3 inches. You'd never need bass traps, that's for sure. But once or if you don't want just a whole bunch of adhesive on your walls, I would personally recommend Auralex sound panels that are 2 feet wide, 4 feet tall. They're on Amazon. They're about $57 each. You can make them yourself for about half the price if you don't mind fiberglass all over your body. I'm personally not a fan of that, though. Anyone else? Okay. Well, this is a gaming convention, and I'm horrible with time management, so I should have disabled my screensaver. I came prepared for once. Please hold. Well, shit, you don't supposed to see that yet. Okay. Let's have a little fun with what I like to call gamer trivia, because I was told I had to kill more time. Who would like to volunteer for gamer trivia? We're going to need 10 participants, 10 on this side of the room, 10 on this side of the room. Go. Just go. Just make a line. First 10 people in the line, you're part of the gamer trivia. That side of the room, this side of the room. Stand on the side of the carpet. Great, that kind of works out. Perfect. Okay, you and you, I'm gonna ask a question. If you can read it on the LED wall, you're welcome to answer before I'm done asking the question. I'm also gonna narrate it. When you know the answer, just do me a favor, raise a hand. If you could get closer to the 6 feet though, so I could see you a little bit closer. Just a little bit, yeah, perfect. Okay, question number 1. What is the name of the final course in Mario Kart? Correct. Come on up here. And I got a big old box of free stuff. Nintendo Switch accessories, Switch Grip Pro, sponsored by Satisfy. Have fun in there. Pick one thing. My condolences to the guy who lost. Oh, I should do the thing. I did. It's pretty. Okay, you two, step on up, please. Ready? Mario originated a character in which video game? Correct. Just kind of stand on the side. We'll make a line of people going in there, so we want people to be separated. I should really remember to hit the pretty button. Great. Next two people, please step up. What are your names? Where are you from? Brandon from Maryland. What? Eli from New Jersey, my home state. Taylor Hammer pork roll. Okay, you're allowed to participate. Solid Snake is the hero of which famous video game franchise? Correct. Just see that flight case on the side? Just stand over there. But he's not the main character of a pachinko machine. It's not a franchise of pachinko machines. Next two people, please step up. Luigi and Thomas from Pennsylvania and Luigi Mario from the Mushroom Kingdom. This is actually a little bit of a tricky one that you may or may not know. What is Pearl's signature color in Splatoon 2? I'll give you a hint. It's a girl color. Nope. Yes. Okay, I'm never gonna ask Splatoon questions again. Go ahead and over there. Oh, thank you so much for helping me out with this. Again, I'm not hitting the thing. That's her. She's all about pink and stuff. Okay, next two people. What's your name? Where are you from? James from South Jersey, who's a fan of pork roll. And Emmett from Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania? You have to think about it. Let's just say Philadelphia. That sounds like most people who I ask where they're from in Pennsylvania. Okay. In the video game Pac-Man, what is the name of the orange ghost? Yes. How old are you? Damn, 12-year-old knew. Head on over there. Nice big round of applause for... I actually had to look that one up. Can we get you in the gray and you in the t-shirt to go over there to this line? Wait, nope, just the gray. You go back. You guys ready? Which game developer has released 4 Game of the Year games? Raise your hand. Specific person from Bethesda? God Howard. Head on over there. It just works. For the record, I'm saying like on the floor over there. I'm not expecting everyone to climb on stage. Yeah. But that works too. That works too. Okay. What's your name? Where are you from? Zach from New Jersey. And Mike from New Jersey. Where in New Jersey? Somerville. Okay. And Morristown. Nice. I've actually DJ'd at Iron Bar many times. Laundromat has changed a lot, man. It used to be a chill place. Now it's all Gen Zers. Anyways, what was the first video game character to have a balloon featured in the Macy's parade? That is correct, Sonic the Hedgehog. It was a horrible travesty in 1993 where he deflated. What? He did come back. He did come back, despite, the games. What's your name? Where are you from? Nick from New Jersey? Trevor, who is local? Trevor from Oaks, Pennsylvania. By the way, didn't think that was a real place. I thought someone was trolling me. What Pokemon is number 100 in the Pokedex? No. Mew is number 151. I'll give you a hint. It's round. Yes, Voltorb. Yeah, that's pretty much as hard as the Splatoon question. And great, it's time for the last round. What's your name? Where are you from? Tom from Connecticut, and who knows how to project his voice. And, say again? Athena from Philadelphia. Are you both participating? I will allow you both. Just her. Okay. What is the next question? Dad's allowed to help you on this one. What is the name from the shaman in Banjo-Tooie who transforms the duo? He's thinking and they're conferring. Do we need a hint? It's not Mumbo Jumbo. Do you need another hint? It's a female. Do you need another hint? Her name is very similar to an inappropriate catcall that construction workers do for females. Specifically, curvy females. Audience, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Humba Wumba, thank you very much. You know what? Both of you come on up and come get a thing, because is there more things in here? Yes, there's more things in here. We're out of people. No one else wants some free stuff? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, free stuff. You're going to win a thing. Come on up, 2 lines. We have 5 more questions. Yes. Loser's bracket. What's your name? Where are you from? David? Steven, New Jersey. And? Your name again? Vincent from Pennsylvania. Fantastic. Welcome to Too Many Games. In the original Pokemon Snap, what was the name of the first Pokemon you took a picture of? Do you need a hint? No. It was part of the in-game tutorial on the beach level, soon as you showed up. There were 3 of them. It has 2 typings. One of the typings is normal. No. The other type is flying. Pidgey, that's right. I pretty much spelled it out for you. There you go. I know. Some of these are real gamer questions. You're sitting there, you're like, that's a good one. Okay, what's your name? Where are you from? Name again? Abdul from New Jersey. And? Jerry from South Jersey. North versus South. Whoa, we're halfway there. My bottle's on the chair. What is the name of the spiritual stone that young Link receives after Dodongo's cavern? You guys thought I was going to give you the easy questions like Donkey Kong. Do you need a hint? The first word is the name of the race who lives at Dodongo's cavern. Show of hand when you know it. Nope? Okay. What? Okay, your next hint. It's red. No, you gotta raise your hand. Close, but no. Yes, Goron's Ruby. Nice big round of applause. Thank you very much. What's your name? Where are you from? Kevin from New Jersey. And? John from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Went to Hershey, Pennsylvania. Didn't go to the theme park, surprisingly. By the way, this is question 13, 14, 15. I'm sorry, but he's going to be the last one. What product did Nintendo release before the world of video games? Their first product ever released. What? That is incorrect. That is correct. Playing cards. He said the much more complicated name. Come on up, come get a prize. Oh, no. Shh. Boop. What's your name? Where are you from? You didn't see the thing. Matt from PA and? Thomas, also from PA. Fantastic. In the game's Link's Awakening, what is the name of the chain chomp that helps Link? Do you need a hint? It shares the same name as a rapper. You say Daisy? Jay-Z, no. The rapper's first name is Lil. What? It is not Lil Ma, no. It's not Lil Wayne, no. Am I this old? It's on the Nintendo Switch. It came out last year. I was 2 years ago. 2020 didn't count. It's 6 letters. The first 3 and the second 3 rhyme. It's the sound a dog makes. How many letters do you think is in the word woof? And how does woof and oof rhyme? It's Bow Wow. It's Bow Wow. I'm sorry, neither of you won that round. Please be seated. Last question. What's your name? Where are you from? Bean? Bean from South Jersey. Where in South Jersey? South Jersey, got it. Where are you from? What's your name? Eli from New Jersey again. Great, redemption round. You ready? This is the last question for the championship. Who's that Pokemon? Raise your hand when you know the answer. That is correct. It is Jigglypuff seen from above. You actually didn't need to see the picture. It's a meme. You should know the meme by now. You know what? I actually needed to hit the button, and that's my own fault, and I tried to cover my own ass, so shame on me. You both win a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this big round of applause, everyone who participated. My name is Austin John. Thank you so much for coming to Too Many Games. Hope you each and every one of you has a beautiful and fantastic weekend in life and everything else like that. Go have many beautiful riches and successes. Meet a very beautiful person or not. Do whatever you want and have a great life. Bye.